my take on the Kevin Csoboth red card, Újpest FC, 29 July 2023. So here I, Tanis Leonhardi, she, her, hers of Seattle, talk through the Kevin Csoboth of Újpest Football Club. So with this Hungarian football stuff, FC Football Club, at least a lot of the time. And it's through the red card in the 2023 Újpest FC versus Fehérvár FC Football Match on Saturday, 29 July 2023. With his performance, a collision with a player on opposite team in the field, he received a red card. I provide my take/perspective on his performance and contextualize it in terms of what a red card is/means, and the closest analogous experience I had in a non-sporting professional setting. So, let me explain this red card. And since I have not received a red card in a sporting context, have I received something similar in a professional setting, so like a workplace setting? And I thought of something that I was like, yeah, this might count. So a red card means something happened that put players at risk or something like that of injury, whether or not there was injury. And the conduct means your red is like kicked out of the game and sometimes kicked out of multiple following games. Okay, so it's like there's no card in a foul, there's yellow, and then there's red. And so Kevin Csoboth got a red. And so what was happening was he had the ball and he was running, and this guy, so Kevin Csoboth, I'll put a link to the video on M4 Sport, the YouTube channel M4 Sport, which actually covers, it's a dedicated video to the red card. And then also put videos from the same channel, M4 Sport, and then the Hungarian Football Association, Magyar Labdarúgó Szövetség. They have a video covering the goals and the cards of the match. So each of those. I'll link to those videos. And so he has the ball and he's running with it. And this player actually pushes Kevin Csoboth a bit and puts his leg out in front of Kevin Csoboth with the ball, right? So it's kind of, I don't know. I'm like, in some of the games I've seen, that behavior itself would get a yellow or a red card, right? This person's running and Kevin Csoboth is running, and so the player, Kevin Csoboth in the video is the one in purple and white in number 77, and then the opposing team is red and white per the top jersey in number 3. So number 3 puts the leg out in front of Kevin Csoboth, and then Kevin Csoboth is like running, right, full momentum with this ball, and puts his foot out and steps on this guy's leg that this other person had put in front of him, right, to try and trip Kevin Csoboth or take the ball. All right, and then slides, because they're both moving, as this is all moving. And so Kevin Csoboth, 77, puts his foot down and it lands on this guy's leg, and both of their legs kind of like slide out. Okay. And then they both get back up. The other person, so the guy who had been trying to trip Kevin Csoboth, got up really fast, really high energy, goes like this and stuff. And so nobody was injured. So first off, yeah. So while it was a high risk situation as assessed by the referee, they both walked away. Okay. So that's like first off, right? That's good. And then the referee goes back and reviews the footage and is like, okay, stepping on this guy's leg, even if it was an accident, which it looks like an accident, and I mean, on some level, like when you put your leg out to trip somebody, if you're stepped on, it's kind of your fault. Like, let's be honest about it. So it's a way of saying, whether intentional or not on the part of Kevin Csoboth, right? I'm still team Kevin Csoboth, right? The other person was the asshole. Curiously, I would say, in the flagging of Kevin Csoboth with the red card, the referee did not actually card the behavior of the other player who put the leg out to trip Kevin Csoboth in the first place. So that was something I actually found a little bit curious about this, and why I'm making this video was, so yes, it did not result in injury. That's good. and it appears to be an accident on the part of Kevin Csoboth, but it's still high-risk behavior, right? It might not have resulted in injury this time, but that doesn't mean that wouldn't be true in the future, so they gave the red card to be like, don't do that, right? What I find curious is that the other person's behavior was not carded as well. Personally, I feel like if one is the cause of the problem, right, and goes to try and trip the person with the ball, that should be at least a yellow card. And if this really is that heinous of a crime, so to speak, they both should have gotten red cards. So my take on this is actually not, I don't disagree with the card. It's high risk, and in watching it, Kevin Csoboth kind of like, it looks like he kind of goes like, ow, that hurt, you know, kind of thing. So like providing some incentive to kind of like, not that there's anything you can do when you're like running full out and this kind of thing happens. So like, but they both should have gotten red cards. Sloppy referee. That's what I would call it. It got halfway there, but not all the way there if they wanted to adhere to their own standards. I reckon that I would be a better referee than the referee who made this call. I'm a she, her, hers. I can run a mile faster than 4 minutes and 30 seconds and has that referee. Perhaps they should work on some baseline athleticism. Okay, so shoddy call by the ref. It should have been 2 red cards per this call. That's my take. And what is the closest analogous experience I had in a non-sporting professional setting? So I was thinking, okay, have I ever been told to step away from something, right? A red card is a call where a person is forced to take a break. Okay. Have I ever received that? Yes, I have. And it was actually a little bit like this situation in that it was an accident. I went to the bathroom, and I've talked about this on my channel before, and this was like, you know, when I was getting ready for bed, so not at work or anything. I went to brush my teeth. I fell backwards, hit my head on the tile, got amnesia, stuff like that. I went into one of the positions I was working in an experimental petrology lab. I went in and kind of talked about what had happened because I had work/research to do. And my supervisor told me to take a week off. She's like, nope, don't come in. All right, and I was like, but you know, I'm like thinking, this is my job, it is my research, yeah. Like, please don't make me stop. And she made me stop. And so I would not have wanted that, just as Kevin Csoboth would have liked to continue playing. Right? I had a authority figure higher than me say, you're out for a while. And so yes, I have experienced that in real life. Because then, you know, it snowballs in my little fear complex of like, what if I get fired, right? Because I got this accident and I didn't want to happen, and then it happened, and then I'm having a hard time, and they're saying take a break, but then what if I don't make my hours or research or, you know, that kind of stuff, right? So then it's like, breathe, okay. And I recovered, and I'm very thankful for that call she made, right, and making me take a break. Though at the time it was like frustrating, right? Because I just wanted to keep on going, and I couldn't because I had this injury, right? So yeah. So what is it? If somebody has gone through the same experience or an analogous experience, it's called sympathy. It means you can understand somebody based on real lived experience of the same or similar nature. So I sympathize based on reality of lived experience with Kevin Csoboth in this particular situation. I heard he rubbed lots of meerkat, northern hemisphere bellies, squirrel bellies. I also, he went back and dog-eared my book this is the ultimate dog book. And he liked to rub the tiny pandas, like the Pomeranians and bulldogs and papillons of other Hungarian footballers during his break. And so he went back and bookmarked, this is the #1 dog I wanted growing up. So if you have the means to get one of these dogs, you can live I can live vicariously through you. It was the #1 dog I wanted growing up was a Basenji. It's a small little dog. And then this is my #1, and my #2 was the big one, you know, so the more expensive, shorter life expectancy per veterinarians, that was the Rhodesian Ridgeback. Yes, but he spent lots of time rubbing squirrel and dog bellies and thinking, I like dogs. There you go. But I am not a dog. I am a human. They should have given 2 red cards. I agree with Tanis. He agrees with me. There we go. I got his telepathy. He's sending it on the back of squirrel. So that is my take on the Kevin Csoboth red card of Újpest Football Club, 29 July 2023, and I'm filming this Tuesday, 16 April 2024.